After my wife cheated on me after 17 years of marriage, I had to confront the affair, take back control, and begin rebuilding my life and trust from scratch. How do you pull someone out of an affair fog? I'm a 29-year-old male, and she's a 26-year-old female. We're both in the military. We dated for 5 years, have been married for 2, totaling almost 8 years together. Last November, my wife went on a 5-week work trip. Ever since then, there were signs she was distant, always on her phone, etc. D-Day was March 4th. She told me she had feelings for someone else, another woman. That's all she said. I was shocked and in disbelief. The next day, I moved to our spare bedroom, and we separated bank accounts 50-50. That same weekend, the spouse of the affair partner sent me messages with proof that they were intimate on the last night of the work trip. I was the last to know. I confronted my wife with the news and was met with hostility. That same week, she met with her mother, whom she is close to, and told her half of the story, just like she did to me. I then reached out to her mother and gave her the full truth. They are not speaking at the moment, and her mother supports me. I have told my wife I want to make things work. I got a counselor, gave her space, and worked on myself. She calls her affair partner nightly for over an hour each time since D-Day. When I confront her about the affair, she tells me she doesn't know what she wants and refuses to go to counseling. She only confides in her friends who support her actions. Aside from talking about the affair, we are amicable. We did yard work together, watched movies, etc. about 8 or 9 p.m. She needs her dopamine fix. The affair partner is a service member who is 10 years older than my wife, overweight, has a newborn child, and is currently getting a divorce from their spouse. The whole situation is crazy to anyone I confide in. I wish I had answers on how to pull her out of the fog and be rational, but I do not. I would like to make this relationship work, but I am becoming discouraged and starting to look at divorce. Side note, I am no longer as sad as I first was. I have pulled myself out of my depression, and I'm no longer allowing her to disrespect me. Any advice is appreciated. Our first reaction comes from unjust enrichment. Get rid of her, please. My wife seems to have a lot of similarities to yours. It's not worth the pain you are about to go through. My wife had a long affair. After I found out, she tried to justify things by saying she never really felt married to me, and that if she just pretended it didn't happen, she could convince herself it wasn't real. I ended her affair. No violence or threats of any sort were used, and now I am facing felony prosecution. I lost my job, I am probably going to lose my professional license, and there's a chance I'm going to be incarcerated. All this because I cared and wanted to stop her affair. I've been seriously contemplating suicide for months now, and it's not getting any better. Don't allow yourself to be her victim. She doesn't give a damn about how you feel or how much pain this is causing you. Get out before your life is destroyed. She is a narcissist, and if you are hurt by this, she will get pleasure from it. Next comment from Agile Opportunity 41. Unless she goes no contact with her affair partner, there is no chance of reconciliation. Go gray rock or 180 and give her the option. It's me or the affair partner. You pick and let me know. If you don't cut her out, I take that as you picking her. If that's the case, have her move out and start individual counseling for yourself. Update from my original post. My wife continues to contact her affair partner nightly, sometimes throughout the day at work. I pressed Uniform Code of Military Justice action against the affair partner and the Texas National Guard. They have followed through so far. They're conducting an investigation and plan to punish her soon. The affair partner has been counseled on the action being taken against her. This pissed the wayward wife off. I have not pressed UCMJ action on her in my own state at this time. Last weekend, my wife told me that she fears for her safety and is leaving for the weekend. Phone logs showed that for the first time in 4 months, they quit talking to one another, so I assumed my wayward wife went to Texas to be with the affair partner. While she was gone, I told her father what she had done. Her mother has gone no contact with me and is starting to spend more time with the wayward wife. I got a good lawyer, filed, and she was served on Tuesday. Today, I saw online that she got a lawyer who was suspended for having sex with his clients, now reinstated and countered. I have not seen the counter yet. I'm nervous about what I'm going to see. Besides possessions, I asked to buy her out of the equity of the home and keep it, as well as the money I made from the home I previously bought as a single man but sold right after marriage. In all, I'm worried as this is the life I built. Since her little trip, we have not spoken but continue to live in the same home. For anyone wondering why I haven't pressed UCMJ action, it's due to it being a card in my deck against her. Should I use it sooner rather than later or not at all? Hopefully I'm doing the right things. I still can't believe what she has done, and I want this to be over. We have a reaction from Benson McPrush. I haven't pressed UCMJ action due to it being a card in my deck against her. Should I sooner rather than later or not at all? Discuss it with your lawyer. That's why you're paying the big bucks. Next reaction from Session Special: it would be better for you to press UCMJ early. Otherwise, they will view you in a negative light. Be honest about it and live your life. Next reaction from Hambone4164: I would hold off on using UCMJ against your wayward spouse until after the divorce is final. Don't even use it as a bargaining chip in negotiations. From what I understand, the UCMJ action can lead to a loss of rank, loss of income, a fine, or even discharge. Since your divorce will be done outside of the military's justice system, the court will look at her income when determining if and how much spousal support you need to provide her. The lower her income, the more you'll have to make up in spousal support. Once the divorce is over and spousal support is set, take the kid gloves off and go ahead and report her. Moving on, my girlfriend of 6 years cheated on me with her new general manager. Who cares about the context? My girlfriend cheated on me with her new boss. Well, screw me. There goes our 6-year relationship, our 5 cats, and our whole lives together. I guess it was a good run, but was it? Update: she was pretty drunk when I found everything out, so I sure got some honest answers, but like, details? I have to wait until she's sober in the morning. So just waiting for that while my heart is completely shattered, and our intertwined lives now have to be separated. Update 2, talked more this morning. Nothing good, just more details about how she went about cheating. I took her out to many parties last night, and when she came home, she messaged her new boss that she got a wax. What the hell, girl? Also, her laughing with her friends on text about how she cheated on me and how much she's into this other guy. There goes my life. I thought this girl was the one for real. I mean, we had problems, but I always thought we'd be okay and be together. Pipe dreams. Update 3, the GM called HR after I found everything out and called him. He's not GM at that place for right now, it seems. Now my maybe ex is super upset with me because I ruined his life and the apple of her eye. She says she hates me. The GM has since blocked her and is non-responsive, but my girlfriend is desperately trying to apologize to him and probably wants to make it up to him. Why am I still saying I love her and want to work it out? What's wrong with me? P.S. Dio sent me. The words linger in my mind, a strange tether to the online community that's become my lifeline. Dio, some anonymous soul on a forum, pointed me here, to this digital confessional where broken hearts spill their guts. I'm not sure if I'm grateful or just desperate, but here I am, typing this out at 2 a.m., my laptop screen the only light in our apartment. The cats are asleep on the couch, oblivious to the wreckage of my life. I envy them. It's been 3 days since my girlfriend, maybe ex-girlfriend now, dropped the bomb about cheating with her general manager. 3 days since I found those texts, her drunken confessions, her laughter with her friends about how she'd betrayed me. I'm still reeling, my emotions a tangled mess of anger, grief, and this stupid, stubborn love that won't let go. I keep asking myself why I'm still here, why I'm still hoping she'll wake up tomorrow and choose me. What's wrong with me? The morning after her drunken admissions, I sat her down, hoping sobriety would bring clarity. It didn't. She was hungover, her eyes red and puffy, but she didn't hold back. She told me how it started, a late-night work meeting that turned into drinks, then flirting, then more. She said it wasn't planned, that she was caught up in the moment. But the texts I saw weren't spontaneous. They were deliberate, calculated, spanning weeks. She'd gotten a wax for him, for God's sake. She'd laughed about me, about us, like our 6 years together were a joke. I sat there, listening, feeling like I was watching my life burn down in slow motion. I asked her why. She shrugged, said she didn't know, that she was confused. She said she felt alive with him in a way she hadn't with me in a while. That hurt more than anything. The idea that I'd become background noise in her life, that our routines, our quiet nights with the cats, our shared dreams, weren't enough. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to make her see what she was throwing away. But I just sat there, nodding. Because what else could I do? The GM is out of the picture now, at least temporarily. After I called him out, he reported himself to HR, probably to cover his ass. He's been suspended, and she's furious with me for ruining his life. She's been texting him nonstop, apologizing, begging him to talk to her. He's blocked her, but she's not giving up. I see her phone light up at night, her fingers flying across the screen, and I know it's him she's reaching for, not me. Never me. I keep replaying our last good day together. A week before I found out, we'd gone hiking, just the two of us, up a trail we'd done a dozen times. She'd laughed when I tripped over a root, and I'd teased her about her terrible sense of direction. We'd stopped at the top, shared a granola bar, and watched the sunset. I'd thought, this is it. This is what forever feels like. Now I wonder if she was already texting him that night, if her mind was already somewhere else. I'm trying to pull her out of this fog, this obsession with a man who doesn't deserve her, but it's like trying to catch smoke. I've read about affair fog online, how it's like a drug, how it blinds people to reality. I've tried everything the forums suggest, giving her space, working on myself, staying calm. I've been hitting the gym, eating better, even started journaling to keep my head straight. I'm not the mess I was a week ago, curled up in the spare bedroom, crying until I couldn't breathe. But I'm still here, in this apartment, with her, and it's killing me. We're civil, mostly. We feed the cats together, clean the kitchen, watch TV like nothing's wrong. But every night, around 9, she disappears into her room, and I hear her voice through the wall, low and intimate, talking to him. I don't confront her anymore. It just leads to fights, and I'm tired of begging. I've told her I want to work things out, that I love her, that we can get through this. She just looks at me, her eyes empty, and says she doesn't know what she wants. I'm starting to think she's already made her choice. I called a counselor yesterday, not for us, but for me. I start next week. I need to figure out how to let go, how to stop loving someone who's hurting me like this. I've also been talking to a lawyer, just in case. I don't want to think about divorce, about splitting up our life, our cats, our home. But I can't keep living like this, walking on eggshells, waiting for her to decide my future. I deserve better. I know that now. Her mom reached out today asking how I'm holding up. She's been my rock through this, even though she's heartbroken over her daughter's choices. She told me to focus on myself, to not let this define me. I'm trying, but it's hard when every corner of this apartment reminds me of her. The couch where we binged Netflix, the kitchen where we danced to bad pop songs, the bedroom where we planned our future. It's all tainted now, and I don't know how to reclaim it. I've been thinking about the military angle too. I could press UCMJ charges against her, like I did with her affair partner. It's a card I've been holding, a last resort. Part of me wants to use it, to make her face consequences, to shake her out of this delusion. But another part of me wonders if it's worth it. Would it change anything, or would it just make her hate me more? My lawyer says to hold off until the divorce is finalized, to protect my financial interests. I'm leaning that way, but it's a tough call. The online forums have been a mixed bag. Some people, like Unjust Enrichment, tell me to run, to save myself before she destroys me. Others, like Agile Opportunity, say to set boundaries, to force her to choose. I've tried the boundary thing, told her it's me or him, that she can't have both. She just shrugged, said she's not ready to decide. I'm starting to see what Hambone meant about waiting until after the divorce. If I report her now, it could mess up her career, her income, and I'd end up paying more in spousal support. It's cold, calculating, but I have to protect myself. I keep coming back to the cats. We have 5. Mochi, Luna, Peanut, Gizmo, and Sushi. They're our babies, the one thing we've always agreed on. I can't imagine splitting them up or losing them in a divorce. Mochi sleeps on my chest every night now, like she knows I'm hurting. I don't know how we'd divide them, or if she'd even fight for them. She's barely home anymore, always out with her friends or locked in her room. I'm the one feeding them, cleaning the litter boxes, giving them love. Maybe they're mine now, in her mind. I don't know. I've started making a plan, a real one, for moving forward. Step 1 is therapy, to get my head straight. Step 2 is talking to my lawyer about next steps, dividing assets, figuring out the house. Step 3 is finding a new place, somewhere that's just mine. I've been looking at apartments online, small ones, close to base. It's scary, imagining a life without her, but it's also freeing. I'm starting to see a future where I'm not defined by her choices, where I can be happy again. Last night I went out with some buddies from work. We grabbed beers, played pool, laughed for the first time in weeks. It felt good, normal. One of them, Jake, pulled me aside and told me I'm stronger than I think. He's been through a divorce too, and he said it gets better, that I'll find someone who respects me, who chooses me every day. I want to believe him. I'm not ready to date, not even close, but I'm starting to believe I'll get there. This morning, she was in the kitchen when I got up, making coffee. She looked tired, her hair a mess, her eyes avoiding mine. I wanted to ask her what she was thinking, if she still loved me, if there was any chance left, but I didn't. I just grabbed my mug, said good morning, and left for work. I'm done chasing her. If she wants to fix this, she knows where to find me. Until then, I'm focusing on me. The next week is a blur of meetings, with my counselor, my lawyer, my company. My counselor is great, a no-nonsense guy who doesn't let me wallow. He's got me working on radical acceptance, this idea that I can't change her actions, only how I respond. It's hard, but it's helping. I'm starting to let go of the what-ifs. What if I'd been a better husband? What if I'd caught it sooner? None of that matters now. What matters is what I do next. My lawyer's optimistic about the divorce. We've got a strong case for keeping the house, since I put in most of the equity from my previous property. She's countered, asking for half the equity in some of our savings, but my lawyer thinks we can negotiate her down. The fact that she's still talking to her affair partner doesn't help her case. It shows she's not serious about reconciliation. I'm nervous. but I trust my lawyer. He's been through this before, and he's got my back. Work is a refuge now. I throw myself into my duties, volunteering for extra shifts, staying late to help with training. My CO noticed, pulled me aside to check in. I told him the basics: divorce, infidelity, keeping it professional. He nodded, said he's been there, and told me to keep my chin up. It's nice to know I'm not alone, that people see me pushing through. I've also started writing again, not just journaling but stories. I used to write sci-fi, little short stories about space explorers and alien worlds. I stopped when things got bad with her, but I'm picking it up again. Last night, I wrote a story about a pilot who crash lands on a planet and has to rebuild his ship from scratch. It's not subtle, but it felt good to put my feelings somewhere else, to create something new. The cats are my constant. Mochi's taken to following me around, meowing until I pick her up. Luna's been sleeping on my pillow, her purring a small comfort. I've decided that if it comes to it, I'll fight for them. They're my family, more than she is right now. I've been researching pet-friendly apartments, just in case. I want a place with big windows, somewhere they can sunbathe and chase laser pointers. Her mom called again, asking if there's any chance we can work it out. I told her the truth. I've tried, but she's not meeting me halfway. Her mom sighed, said she's praying for us both. I appreciate it, but I'm not holding my breath. Her dad's been quiet, probably caught between his wife and his daughter. I don't blame him. This is a mess and no one knows how to fix it. I've been thinking about the UCMJ card again. My lawyer's still advising me to wait, but I'm tempted. Not out of spite, but because I want her to face reality. She's living in this fantasy where she can have it all. Me, him, her career. She needs to see that actions have consequences. I'm giving it another week, then I'll decide. For now, I'm keeping my distance, staying civil but detached. Tonight, I'm alone in the apartment. She's out, probably with her friends, maybe trying to reach him again. I don't check her phone anymore. It's not worth the pain. Instead, I'm cooking dinner, something simple, just for me. I put on some music, an old playlist we used to love. It hurts, but it's also a reminder that I'm still here, still me. I feed the cats, sit on the couch, and open my laptop. I start writing, not about her, but about a future I can't see yet. One where I'm whole again. The next morning, I wake up to a text from her. It's short. I'm sorry. Can we talk? My heart skips, but I'm cautious. I've been here before, with her half apologies and empty promises. I text back, sure, when you're ready. I mean it, but I'm not holding my breath. I've got my own life to live now, and I'm not waiting for her to catch up. Over the next few weeks, things shift. We talk, but it's not the breakthrough I'd hoped for. She's still confused, still talking to him, still not ready to commit. I keep going to therapy, keep writing, keep building. I sign a lease on a new apartment, a small one with a balcony where the cats can watch birds. I start moving my things out, little by little. It's painful, but it's necessary. The divorce moves forward. We settle on the house. I buy her out, keep most of the equity. The cats stay with me and she doesn't fight it. I'm relieved, but it's bittersweet. I wanted to save us, but I'm learning to save myself instead. My counselor says I'm making progress, that I'm stronger than I realize. I'm starting to believe him. One night, a month later, I'm in my new place. The cats sprawled across the couch. I'm writing a new story, one about a man who finds a hidden world after a storm. It's hopeful, full of possibility. I look around, at the boxes still unpacked, the cats snoring, the city lights outside my window. I'm not okay yet, but I'm getting there. And for the first time in months, that feels like enough. Next story. My wife of 17 years admitted she cheated. I married my high school sweetheart. We met in 2005. We dated for 7 years before we got married in 2012. When we got married, we had 2 beautiful kids, now 8 and 10. Well, about a month ago, we went to a friend's birthday party, and she got a little drunk and frisky. When we got home, we put the kids to bed and went to the room to have some fun. While we were playing, we started dirty talking to each other about fantasies and other things that really turned us on. Well, in the heat of the moment, she admitted to me that she had messed around with a guy years ago. At that time, I chose not to confront her because she was drunk, and I wasn't sure if she was all there at the moment. So I waited for the next day when she was sober, and I sat her down and told her we needed to talk. Long story short, she confirmed that she had messed around with a guy who was 12 years older than her and also married. She told me she slept with him only twice, according to her, but she says she can't remember because it was so long ago. This happened in 2015, 2 years after our marriage, and a month after our son's first birthday. I've asked for details and explanations, and she does give me some stuff, but she just gets off saying she doesn't remember anymore. What she has told me, though, is very confusing to me because a lot of it is contradictory. So I don't know what to think. I do believe her that she hasn't done it again, but does it excuse that she even did it in the first place? Granted, we were not in a very good place at the time in our relationship, but I never in a million years would have expected that from her. I wholeheartedly trusted her, and she stabbed me in the back. I do still love her. She is a wonderful mother, and I told her I wanted to try and work it out, but I do find myself in bad spots at times, lost in my own mind. When she notices me, she gets upset at me because I don't know how to let things go. I guess I just need some advice. Will this ever go away? Will it ever stop hurting? Am I doing the right thing? Also, should I ruin his wife's life as well by letting her know what happened? It pisses me off that he's out here living life without a care in the world while I'm here with my heart shattered and my whole world turned upside down. I sit in the living room now, the kids' toys scattered across the floor, a half-empty coffee mug on the table. It's quiet, save for the distant hum of the refrigerator. The kids are at school, and my wife, Sarah, is at work. I'm supposed to be working too, from home, but I can't focus. My laptop sits open, a spreadsheet staring back at me, but all I can think about is her confession, those words that slipped out in the heat of the moment a month ago. She slept with someone else. 2 years into our marriage, a month after our son's first birthday, when I thought we were building something unbreakable. And now, 17 years into our life together, I'm left picking up the pieces of a trust I didn't know was broken. The morning after the party, when I confronted her, I'd hoped she'd laugh it off, say it was just drunk talk, a fantasy she'd made up to spice things up. But she didn't. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a mug of tea, her eyes fixed on the floor. She admitted it was true. 2 nights with a guy named Mark, 12 years older, married, someone she'd met through a coworker. She said it was a mistake, that she was lonely, that we were fighting all the time back then. She swore it was only twice, that it ended quickly, that she's been faithful ever since. But her story was shaky, full of gaps and contradictions. She couldn't remember where they met, how it started, or even when it stopped. It was so long ago, she kept saying, her voice trembling. I wanted to believe her, but the holes in her story gnawed at me. I've spent the last month trying to make sense of it. I've asked her for details over and over, hoping for something solid to hold on to. Sometimes she gives me bits and pieces, how she felt lost after our daughter was born, how Mark made her feel seen, how she hated herself for it. Other times she shuts down, says she doesn't remember, that it's too painful to revisit. Her contradictions drive me crazy. One day, she says it was just physical. The next, she admits there were feelings, but they were fleeting. I don't know what's worse, the idea that she loved him, even for a moment, or that she can't give me a straight answer. I've always trusted Sarah. She was my high school sweetheart, the girl who sat next to me in chemistry class, who laughed at my terrible jokes and held my hand at prom. We built a life together, 7 years of dating, 17 years of marriage, 2 kids who are the center of our world. She's a great mom, patient and kind, always there for our daughter's soccer games and our son's school plays. Even now she's trying, cooking dinner, asking about my day, suggesting we go to counseling. But every time I look at her, I see the betrayal, the secret she kept for 10 years. I wonder what else she's hiding, if I ever really knew her at all. The pain is constant, a dull ache that flares up without warning. I'll be driving to pick up the kids and suddenly I'm imagining her with him, in some hotel room, laughing, touching, sharing things that were supposed to be mine. I'll be watching TV with her, and I'll catch her smiling at her phone, and my mind spirals. Is she texting him? Is there someone else? I know it's irrational. She says it's been over for years, and I believe her, mostly. But the trust is gone, and without it, I'm lost. I've told her I want to work it out, and I mean it. I love her, despite everything. I love the life we've built, the family we've created, but it's hard. Some days I'm okay. We'll laugh about something the kids did, or we'll share a quiet moment over coffee, and I'll feel a flicker of hope. Other days I'm drowning in anger and hurt. She notices when I'm distant, and it frustrates her. Why can't you let it go? She asked last week, her voice sharp. It was 10 years ago. I'm not that person anymore. I didn't know how to answer. How do you let go of something that's still tearing you apart? I've started seeing a therapist, alone for now. Sarah says she's open to couples counseling, but I'm not ready yet. I need to sort out my own head first. My therapist is helping me name the emotions. Betrayal, grief, shame. Shame is the worst. I feel like I failed, like I wasn't enough to keep her faithful. I know it's not true, that her choices were her own, but the feeling lingers. We talk about strategies to cope, like journaling, which is why I'm writing this now. It's raw, messy, but it helps. I also go for runs, long ones, letting the rhythm of my feet drown out the noise in my head. It doesn't fix anything, but it keeps me sane. The kids are my anchor. Our daughter Emma is 10, all energy and questions, always dragging me into her latest art project. Our son Liam is 8, quieter, but he loves building Lego sets with me. They don't know what's going on, and I'm determined to keep it that way. Sarah and I are careful around them, keeping our fights behind closed doors. but I worry they sense something. Emma asked me the other day why I looked sad, and I fumbled through some excuse about work. I hate lying to her, but what else can I do? I won't let this break their world too. I keep thinking about Mark's wife. I don't know her name, but I know she exists, out there, living her life, maybe oblivious to what her husband did. Part of me wants to tell her, to make him face the consequences, to shatter his perfect little world the way mine's been shattered. It's not just revenge, though I'd be lying if I said that wasn't part of it. It's fairness. Why should he walk away unscathed while I'm here, picking up the pieces? But another part of me hesitates. What if she's happy? What if telling her destroys her family, her kids? Am I willing to carry that weight? I've looked him up online, found his LinkedIn, his polished profile picture. He's a manager at some tech firm now, probably making good money, living in a big house. It makes my blood boil. I haven't decided what to do yet, but the urge to act grows stronger every day. Sarah's trying to make amends, I'll give her that. She's been more open lately, answering my questions even when it's hard. Last night, she told me more about why it happened. Not excuses, but context. She said she felt invisible after Liam was born. Like she was just a mom, not a woman anymore. She said Mark was charming, that he listened, that it felt like an escape. She cried as she talked, said she's hated herself for it ever since. I listened, and for the first time I felt a flicker of understanding. Not forgiveness, not yet, but something close. I could see the pain she's been carrying too, but understanding doesn't erase the hurt. I keep coming back to the timeline. 2015, a month after Liam's first birthday. We were struggling then, no doubt. Liam was a fussy baby, and Emma was a toddler, always demanding attention. We were both exhausted, snapping at each other, barely connecting. I was working long hours, trying to provide, and Sarah was home with the kids, feeling trapped. I get why she felt lost. But cheating? That was a choice, one she made not once, but twice. And then she hid it for 10 years, through every vow we renewed, every anniversary we celebrated. That's what I can't reconcile. I've been reading about infidelity online, trying to understand. The forums are full of stories like mine. Spouses blindsided, marriages tested, some surviving, some not. I've learned about affair fog, how it clouds judgment and trickle truth, where the cheater doles out details slowly. Sarah's doing that, I think, though I don't know if it's intentional or just her memory failing her. I've also read about forgiveness, how it's not about excusing the act but letting go of the pain. I'm not there yet, but I want to be. For me, for the kids, maybe even for her. We've started small steps toward rebuilding. We're talking more, not just about the affair, but about us, our dreams, our fears, what we want our future to look like. Last weekend, we took the kids to the zoo, and for a few hours it felt like old times. Emma was obsessed with the giraffes, and Liam kept asking if penguins could fly. Sarah and I laughed, held hands, stole a quick kiss when the kids weren't looking. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. Moments like that give me hope, but they're fragile, easily shattered by a stray thought or a bad day. I've also been working on myself. I'm not just the betrayed husband. I'm a dad, a friend, a guy who used to love hiking and playing guitar. I've started playing again, late at night when the house is quiet. The music helps, grounding me in something that's mine. I've reconnected with old friends too, guys I haven't seen in years. We grabbed beers last week, and I told them a sanitized version of what's going on. No details, just that Sarah and I are working through some stuff. They didn't pry, just listened, and it felt good to be seen as more than my pain. The question of Mark's wife keeps circling back. I talked to my therapist about it, and she asked what I hope to gain by telling her. I said justice, maybe closure. She pushed me to dig deeper. Am I seeking revenge, or am I trying to protect someone else? I don't have a clear answer. I've drafted emails to her, anonymous ones, but I haven't sent them. I keep imagining her opening it, her world collapsing like mine did. It's tempting, but it's also heavy. I'm giving myself a deadline, end of the month, to decide. Sarah and I have our first couples counseling session next week. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. I want to understand her, to rebuild trust, but I also want her to understand the depth of my pain. I've been reading about what makes marriages survive infidelity: honesty, accountability, patience. Sarah's trying to be honest, but she needs to be more consistent. I need to be patient, but I also need to protect myself. It's a delicate balance, and we're both stumbling. The kids keep me going. Emma's been drawing pictures of our family lately. Me, Sarah, Liam, and her, all smiling under a big sun. I hang them on the fridge even though they make my chest ache. Liam's been asking for extra bedtime stories, and I wonder if he's picking up on the tension. I read to him every night, doing all the voices, watching his eyes light up. These moments remind me why I'm fighting for this family, why I'm not walking away. I've also been thinking about forgiveness, what it means. I don't know if I can ever fully forgive Sarah, but I want to try. Not for her, but for me. I don't want to carry this anger forever, it's too heavy. My therapist says forgiveness is a process, not a destination, and I'm starting to see that. Some days, I feel closer to it, when Sarah opens up, when we share a laugh. Other days it feels impossible, like when I'm alone at night, replaying her confession in my head. I've decided not to tell Mark's wife, at least not yet. I talked it over with a friend, who pointed out that stirring up drama might hurt me more than it helps. He's right. My focus needs to be on my family, not on someone else's. If I ever do tell her, it'll be for the right reasons, not out of spite. For now, I'm letting it go, or trying to. Life moves forward, slowly. Sarah and I are learning to communicate again, to be vulnerable. We're not the same couple we were before, and maybe that's okay. We're building something new, something stronger, if we can make it work. The kids are thriving, oblivious to the storm we're weathering. I'm playing guitar more, writing songs about healing, about hope. I'm running farther, pushing my body to match the strength I'm finding inside. Last night, Sarah and I sat on the porch after the kids were asleep. We didn't talk about the affair, just about the stars, the future, the trip we want to take with the kids someday. It was a small moment, but it felt real. I looked at her, really looked, and saw the woman I love, flawed but trying. I don't know if we'll make it, but I know I want to try. Today, I'm taking Emma and Liam to the park. Sarah's coming too. We'll push them on the swings, chase them around, laugh until we're breathless. For a few hours, we'll be a family, not a crisis. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to keep going. The weeks turn into months, and the counseling sessions become a cornerstone of our recovery. Our therapist is tough but fair, pushing us to be honest, to confront the hard truths. Sarah opens up more, admitting how her postpartum depression and our disconnection fueled her choices. She takes accountability, something I've needed to hear. I share my pain, my fear of being hurt again. It's raw, sometimes brutal, but it's progress. The kids keep growing, their lives a bright spot in the chaos. Emma's joined a robotics club, and Liam's obsessed with dinosaurs. We're planning a family camping trip, something we haven't done in years. Sarah and I are cautious but hopeful, rebuilding trust one day at a time. The pain hasn't gone away, but it's quieter now, less consuming. I'm learning to live with it, to let it be part of my story without defining it. I'm writing more, not just songs but stories, fiction that lets me explore worlds beyond my own. I've joined a local writing group, and their feedback is helping me grow. I'm running a half marathon next month, a goal I set to prove to myself I'm still here, still strong. Sarah cheers me on, and it feels good to have her in my corner again. Mark's wife remains a question mark. I've let go of the need for revenge, but I still wonder about her. Maybe one day I'll reach out, but for now I'm focused on my own healing. Sarah and I are planning a vow renewal next year, not to erase the past but to mark a new beginning. It's not perfect, but it's ours. Tonight, I'm sitting in the living room, Emma's latest drawing on the wall, Liam's Lego tower on the coffee table. Sarah's in the kitchen, humming as she makes dinner. The kids are laughing upstairs, and for the first time in months, I feel a flicker of peace. The world turned upside down, but I'm finding my way back, one step at a time.